Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Here Be Dragons. I am your host, as always, Stephen Stark. Thanks for coming. And it's a little bit different this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is my kid, turned 24 yesterday, the one I talk about a lot because she's also the biggest nerd of the group.
Yep.
Of all of my kids, she's the nerdy one.
And the best.
She's the nerdiest one. So yeah, this is Eloura. Eloura Moonflower Stark. Moonflower is your gamer, known in certain circles of the internet as Moonflower.
Yes. Twitter and especially Xbox Live. That's my gamer tag.
Camera's right there, by the way.
I know.
I'm terrible at it, so don't let it bug you if you're terrible at it too. But yeah, thanks for coming, everyone. I know this isn't. You're not a content creator like I usually have on for the types of interviews, but it's my show. I get to do what I want. And you just turned 24 years old yesterday. Everybody tell her. You already see some happy birthdays coming in.
And thank you. Thank you for all the birthday wishes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to answer this real quick. Who did the art for the I Know That Nerd cover? It's really good. You're right. This is a Sanrixian original. Sanri's my favorite. She did this artwork on my t-shirt. She did the artwork that's on my coffee cup. She's a dear, dear friend of the channel. And I see Leaf just put up the link to her threadless shop. She's the best. She's such a lovely person as well as an incredible artist. Like her use of color is mwah, love it. I can never praise it enough. But yeah, we're gonna get to know this nerd a little bit. I made a few kids along the way in my life, and you were the first one. And you're in your mid-20s now.
Almost mid. Yeah.
24 is mid-20s.
Still a baby, but
yeah,
experienced in many other ways.
Right. Well, but you are a nerd in your own right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Huge nerd.
Huge nerd. Now, what does that mean to you, do you think?
I mean, for me, it's just about following whatever you're passionate about. You can be a nerd just about anything. I mean, you can be a book nerd. You can be a Star Wars nerd. You can just be a nerd. Nerd is more of a culture. It is not a definition of a person. It is a culture within itself.
I think nerd is like, it's not what you love, it's how you love it. Like, do you go to that extreme to get down to all the details? Like, football nerds are honestly a lot of times stats people too. Don't you think?
Yeah.
So they'll drill down into that type of thing. So let me ask you this then. What was the first thing that you were super nerdy about?
It was either Avatar The Last Airbender or video games, and you introduced me to both of those.
What about, was Pokemon not it?
I liked Pokemon a lot when I was younger, but I think for me, it was more of just a common cultural thing. Like a lot of the people I spent my time around all really enjoyed Pokemon, and I like the older games. Passionate, I couldn't say like I was like obsessed with them.
Right.
Maybe when I was younger I was, because my world was very, very small. So that's kind of what I enjoyed when I was in my small little world.
But the first thing that caught you big time was either Avatar The Last Airbender or
Red Dead Redemption was the first console game I ever played, and I was really hooked to that. And I mean, I was really young. I didn't know much about video games. I mean, the first video game I had ever actually played was Fallout New Vegas.
I love this story, by the way. This is hilarious.
I was 10 years old. I was playing with my dad in his little house, and I was doing the introduction in Good Springs, and I freaked out so much from the geckos that I like tossed up the controller and ran away. I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. They're so scary.
Literally the first enemies you face in the whole game are these little lizards. They're probably, I mean, they're their design is kind of scary looking. They got big teeth and everything, but they're like 2 feet tall. And they come running at her, and she's just like, "Nope, I'm done. No more of this."
And now it's just kind of like, oh god, it's a gecko. Just kind of kick it off my shins real quick and keep going.
You've come a long way, baby.
Oh yeah.
Because Redhead's got some scary stuff in it too.
It did, but a lot of the time when you and I had played together, we just did a lot of silly stuff. Like we would go to the bars, we would get the character drunk and see how far we could walk. Or we would do like crazy insane jumps off of mountains or weird horse wrestling ideas. We would do all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, we played a lot of shenanigans in that game. I just want to give a shout out to Matthew. Dominic DM'd his first D&D game this week.
Yay!
Big ups to you, my man. Or woman. I assume man. I shouldn't assume gender. To my guy or gal or non-binary pal, whoever it is, whoever you are, Matthew. That's really awesome. Love seeing new Dungeon Masters.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, and let's just spin that into...
Me as well.
Do you like Dungeons and Dragons?
I love Dungeons
Nerd.
and Dragons. I even typically DM for most of my group. I do complete homebrew. I write all of my own stories. I make up my own weapons to throw in there. I make up my own magical items. I've even had some creative ways of integrating my own ability to play by making an important character for the story, making a stat list for them, and still kind of getting to roleplay a little bit myself.
But you get to roleplay lots of different things when you're the Dungeon Master.
Exactly.
And like, so do you think you prefer being a Dungeon Master?
It's kind of hard. I think I do actually like DMing more because I've always been a very creative person. I like writing stories, and this is where I get to kind of show like a true art that I've always been very, very good at. It's coming up with these very unique, intricate stories. I also was in theater, so you kind of learn to improv a lot of the time.
Amy's got a great question. What is a campaign that you created that you're really proud of?
That's a good question. So I think hands down my favorite. I started my group in an adventurers guild. This took care of the introduction. It was just you all started the initiation into the guild at the same time, so you all kind of became a little familiar with each other. And then through that, the character I got to kind of play a little bit was a fire genasi looking for an ancient artifact weapon. He thought he could restore his name from his home country if he obtained this weapon. If they had gotten there, because the campaign ended up falling apart just due to availability of players, but the weapon would have turned him into complete evil. So this character that they would have traveled with and bonded with would have become the big bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So it was going to be kind of more of an emotional twist. They wanted to give him a lot of character so that everyone would kind of bond with him in their own unique way.
So a reverse Zuko.
Yes.
Nice.
Reverse Zuko is a very good way to put it.
I like that. That's a trick I might use in a game at some point in the future. You also have told me about a zombie survival game you were running for a while.
Yes, that was the latest campaign that we did. It was at the very beginning of a zombie apocalypse. So the world where they started, it had already begun. So, we had undead skeletons, zombies, skeleton minotaurs running all about the place. And they got to the capital where they were trying to warn the capital of the country about it. And they were looking for ancient artifacts to stop the necromancer who had become way too powerful and was just causing this mass annihilation.
Necromancers make great bad guys. I say that, and one of the people, I saw her in the chat earlier, Jess, is playing as a necromancer in one of my games.
Necromancers are awesome.
Yeah, and she hasn't played with us for very long yet, but I've been liking what she's doing so far.
Also, real quick, if anybody needs a good pickup line, just tell somebody that you put the romance in necromancer.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
That is good.
I got that on a Valentine's Day card for my boyfriend.
Yeah, I like your boyfriend, by the way. He's an all right guy.
Yeah, he's all right.
I have not liked others of your boyfriends, but this guy, I like him. He's pretty good. He is not here today. He has had to work.
He did have to work today.
But Eloura came up came up for her birthday weekend, and
Good.
we played a lot of Magic the Gathering. That's your big nerd thing now, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, you know more, like, and I love the game, and I played it for years, and I introduced you to it. Kind of as an extension of like, Yu-Gi-Oh's fine, or not Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon cards are fine and all, but you know the big kids play this one.
Right. I think I was about 13 when you had introduced me to it, and it was a little complicated at first, and now it's just an unhealthy spending obsession.
Right. But yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
But yeah, like you know more about, especially the lore and stuff.
I'm not an avid reader. I do suffer from dyslexia. So reading is not all great for me, but if I take small little scripts, and I read this straight from Wizards of the Coast, I'm always reading about the lore, especially characters that I really, really enjoy. And then, you know, like when you read the lore and you understand more about it as they come out with new cards, like you get a special emotion from some of them.
Yeah. Just, I will throw stuff up on the screen. It's funny.
It's fine.
I do want to. Leaf has a really good question. When you are a player in Dungeons and Dragons, what is your favorite class to play?
That's a difficult one. That is a very difficult one. Barbarian?
Really?
Yes.
That is the last thing I actually would have expected from you.
Or monk.
Okay, monks are cool.
I like going fast.
Okay.
And then punching you in the face like 30 times. It may only be for 4 damage, but 4 times 30 is 120.
Right.
It's kind of like me in real life. Like, I can just kind of whop you a couple times, you ain't going to feel it, but then in a minute you'll just be against the wall.
I'm terrified of your
like
of your fighting ability. If this is what you're going to bring, I'm shaking in the boots.
Like that guy Ip Man.
Oh yeah, Donnie Yen. He's a great movie, by the way.
Yes.
Not the later ones weren't as good, but the first one was really good.
Awesome.
If
you haven't seen that movie, you really, really should.
So yeah, you and Eric, your boyfriend, yes, play a lot of Magic.
Every weekend.
You know, every weekend. Whereas when we played yesterday. We played quite a few times yesterday. It had been months since I played before that. So
yeah, I could feel it for everyone, and I'm just like, wait, they don't know this, and I'm just okay. Yeah, they haven't played in a while.
Just rusty, a little rusty.
It's fine, and you know that you cannot play for years, and it can be almost a completely new game for you.
Monks in D&D are definitely cooler than real life monks.
That's absolutely true.
That's Dan, voice of Geekdom, by the way. Hey Dan, thanks for coming by, buddy. But yeah, I actually want to come back to Barbarian because, like, there are 2 types of players in D&D. Essentially, there are those that want to play somebody extremely different from themselves or someone extremely similar to themselves. I'm guessing you're at the different than yourself extreme.
Well, I don't know what I would be like if I was just me and suddenly had some form of class in D&D. Maybe a cleric, but
I'm definitely a rogue. Definitely a rogue.
I can't. My boyfriend has made me tired of rogues. I hate rogues. Every single time he wants to be an arcane trickster.
Arcane trickster rogue is my favorite class.
It's cool, but like they're so insane. No, I'm so done with rogues. Favorite race. I like Simics a lot. They have the ability. They started as originally, like, I think it's human, elf, or Vidalcan.
Okay, you're in the expanded stuff because
yeah,
you're literally referencing the Guilds of Ravnica expansion, which is a Magic the Gathering based expansion for D&D.
Well, I mean, like I like it because, like, as you level up, you can get like the ability to breathe underwater. You can get like manatee ray webbing in your arms, so you swim faster. Like, I think it's really cool. And
I mean, that's very Simic though. Simic is about evolving into something better, a better version of yourself.
It's either that or half elf.
Right.
Because ain't nobody gonna turn down a half elf.
Matthew got a good question here too. Did your father, that would be me, by the way,
Oh God.
get you into A Song of Ice and Fire / Game of Thrones?
Yes, he did.
Of course.
I was 15, maybe. I know the first season had already been long and done. But he did introduce me to the first couple of episodes, and I think I was a little bit too young to appreciate it, especially that first episode.
Because you were, what, 18 maybe?
I was younger than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe 16.
Yeah, 15, 16, somewhere around there. But I did end up watching it in 2015. I binged the whole series. I didn't sleep for like 2 weeks. Just had to watch more Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So there you go. There is the answer to your question.
I have not seen the last season, though, and I've heard so many things that I have such a positive image of it. I don't want to ruin it now by watching season 8 because I've heard so many bad things.
I have my issues with season 8. I haven't made any bones about that, but it's not as bad as a lot of people make it out either. It became popular to crap on it, so people started crapping on it because it was popular. But, you know.
I mean, the ending of season 7, I wasn't a huge fan of the way it ended. Like, it kind of did become a little predictable. Like, oh no, how is he gonna make it? He's got plot armor.
Yeah.
Of course he's gonna make it. It's freaking Jon Snow.
Yeah.
Like,
but we're not going to turn this into a stream about where we talk about things we're going to complain about. That is not the point here. I'm trying to get to know this nerd. Now, again, I actually do know this nerd pretty well, but I've learned a couple of things already just about, because people have got some great questions.
Yeah.
So let's move away from your personal, like nerdy passions and more towards like, so nerddom a lot of has its roots in more traditional media like television and movies.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the, like, we watched Star Wars together.
Yeah.
Big Star Wars fan? Medium Star Wars fan? I actually knew that already. Just because I'm asking the question doesn't mean I don't know. But yeah, I do know that you liked them well enough. And like,
I did not like the latest 3. I liked the old ones.
And
if anybody asks me, my favorite is number 5.
Yes. See, do you see? Like, I'm you are the millennial female version of me in a lot of ways.
Oh, I think I'm too young to be a millennial.
You might be. You're like right on the edge of being a millennial or Gen Z. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you guys something.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So.
Your granddaughter would love that. She loves Pez.
Yeah, but do you know who gave me this? You did.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah, this is from you. You don't remember, huh?
No.
You got this for me years ago, I think for Christmas.
That sounds like something I would get.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I got Neil like a Darth Vader mug too.
Potter sees through your games. Here's the thing. She's the only one that would want them anyway.
This is true.
None of my other kids are interested in the nerdy stuff the same way.
No.
Maybe Lorian a little bit, but...
I'll go like fist first with Lorian over his cards.
Yeah. Oh, yes. A mighty gift indeed. I love it. I haven't had the... sorry, I double-clicked that. Didn't mean to. I have had this for years now, and I just, like, the Pez is still in there. I wouldn't trust the candy that's in there, but, like, how do you break open something like this?
Right.
It's just too good. It's just too good.
Mint condition.
No, it is not mint condition. It's been around the block. Kate, go enjoy time with your family as I am enjoying time with mine. And yeah, catch us on the replay. Be careful, but have fun. So we did not always see eye to eye on everything.
No, and I think that's completely okay. I think that's something that makes our bond a little bit stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have too much in common, you agree on everything. Why do you want to talk about things?
Right.
But if we have different points of view, we can come together.
And I don't even know that we have different points of view on, like, there are things where we do not agree.
Yeah.
But, like, you are a big-hearted person, which is something I hope you feel like you get from me.
That's the only thing big I've got.
Which is something I get from my own mother, you know? Yeah, see, they agree. Don't open it.
The next one's funny.
Oh, Potter. Pez are sugary, not minty, hence not mint condition. Yeah, you don't know who that is,
no.
But he is famous around here. Potter is a minor celebrity on Here Be Dragons. He is our pet Irish troll.
That's funny.
And he is, yeah, also the biggest Expanse fan that I've ever seen. And you still haven't watched The Expanse. So let me take this opportunity to say to you and you that you should be watching The Expanse because it's the best science fiction show on television. Maybe the best science fiction show I've ever watched. Get on it.
I got a list.
Or you don't love me.
Maybe I don't love you.
Maybe. That would be disappointing to learn.
I guess I have to either way.
Yep. Do you nerd out on Tolkien at all? It's a good question.
I don't even know what Tolkien is.
Yes, you do. It's Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. LOTR. That's what I'm used to hearing it called.
Right. Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien wrote it.
And the answer to that is absolutely.
So absolutely, but I don't know who Tolkien is.
Well, it didn't register at first for me, and like most of the people I know aren't big into the Lord of the Rings, so it's not a subject I commonly come to where these things are actively triggering. But excuse me. I love The Hobbit. I love the whole series, and like the true hero of Lord of the Rings is Samwise.
Yeah,
you cannot convince me otherwise. Samwise is the true hero.
Why would I try to convince you of something except for the absolute truth?
He'll beat you up.
Well, it also happens that I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, Samwise is such a great character.
Yeah.
However, I love the God, it's been so long since it's not all registering. The other two that kind of just went on that loved to eat like way too much, even for Hobbit standards.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that ate 3 loaves of elvish bread.
So you enjoyed the movies, but you were not a huge fan because you don't know their names.
It's been like a decade since I've watched it.
So like big fan would have watched it more recently than the last decade.
Whatever.
Yeah, this is what dads do, by the way. I'm really having fun roasting you live on camera.
Oh, I do it too.
Yeah. Oh, I just wanted to say hi, Kelly. Hope you are feeling better, recovering.
I'm just gonna take your gift back. How about that?
No, no. This is how we roll.
Yeah.
So what have you been watching lately? Nerdy stuff. I know you're an anime fan, and we got a few anime fans out there.
Oh gosh. I haven't been watching a whole lot of anime actually. I've been actually watching a lot of horror lately.
Okay, got a lot of horror fans out there too.
Oh, I'm obsessed with horror. You know, I do really like gore stuff too. I mean, that's just my personal preference. There are very good horror stories that have nothing to do with gore. But there are some that are a lot about the gore, but for me, you gotta have that good story. And for me, what makes a good horror movie is how likely is this to happen to me? Like, is it about a girl who's just walking down the street and then gets ripped off the street and tortured? That's likely. But, you know, it's not like I am going on some big fancy game show and then it's a weird death game show, because I don't ever see myself going on a game show. Maybe that's more relatable, But that's just for me. I care more about story. I have written a fan theory on my favorite horror series. I'm starting to rewrite it because I lost the original somewhere, and that's for Final Destination, which I've told you about.
Yeah. Again, I've never was a horror fan in general, but I know a few people who are regulars here are big time horror fans. So they'll pick up what you're putting down. Yeah. But I also think it's interesting that you are. Some time ago, we did a stream about like the way you engage with fandom and how it's this cycle of you find this thing you like, then you consume it, then you go deep on talking about it, then you start to write your own stuff about it and create your own content about it.
Right.
And you're at that I'm creating stuff to writing a fan theory is an involved process. And real talk, most of the people here come here from the A Song of Ice and Fire community, which has its bread and butter is theory crafting and trying to predict the future of that show. So, yeah.
And see, Final Destination's a little weird on the horror because it's so weird situational. Like anything can kill you. Yes, thank you. It is brilliant. I'm obsessed with it. Okay, my entire fan theory is based off of just one movie, and that's number 3. For any of you who know, number 3 is the most important one because it changes the entire perspective of the movies. Because I don't know if you guys know about the Lincoln photo theory. It is the last photo that you have before your life ends. There is some form of weird camera malfunction that describes how you die. In Lincoln's photo, there was a line that had gone across his head exactly where the bullet traveled.
Okay.
And number 3 follows all about that. So it kind of changes the entire dynamics of the movies because the way that these people's last photos show them dying is not how they died in the premonition.
Okay.
So they were not supposed to die there. They were actually meant to survive it and go through. But, it's sometimes I think some of the deaths are a little silly. Like, also in number 3, there's somebody who just, like, has a nail gun and they have it in their hands and they just go, and trigger it, like, 500 times into somebody. I don't get how that accidentally happens, but I still love it nonetheless. You can always find problems in anything.
Oh, sure. There is no such thing as a perfect movie that doesn't have Empire somewhere in its title.
Right.
I'm glad you agree with me.
Yes.
Oh, I misclicked. Kelly, I think that's an awesome take.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I really went far off on that.
That's why we're here. I mean, we got time to fill, man. Talk away. So, like, your passions now, though, are like your Magic the Gathering.
Very much so.
But, like, you have other passions, too.
Yes.
Final Destination theory crafting being one of them.
Yeah. I'm also very actively into video games. I'm starting to get my 4-year-old into there.
Yep.
She'll be 5 next month.
Oh, yeah. She got her own kid. That makes me a grandpa, for those of you that don't know.
This is true.
Been a grandpa for a minute now, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's what?
She turns 5 next month. I just said that.
Yeah. Well, I don't really pay attention to what you say, so.
Neither does my boyfriend, so that's why you two get along.
Mm-hmm. That's why we like each other, because we are both equally good at ignoring you. That's what we have in common.
Exactly. Not magic. He won't sit there and talk to you for 30 minutes about freaking magic.
About Magic the Gathering, right?
What just happened? My boyfriend has completely taken over a conversation that me and my dad were having to talk to my dad about magic.
It's true. But I figure it's probably a good idea Hello, hello. Well, we're on my phone for the time being. I don't know what happened, but we're we're kind of back. I hope you can hear us. Yeah, I hope this is. We'll be back on the computer in just a minute. But it was like you need to restart, and I'm like, oh no. So we're just killing time, making it work.
So hello everyone.
Hi. This has like literally never happened to me on a stream before.
Sorry, yet again, sorry I broke everything.
Yeah, well, it is your fault. It says your browser can't access your devices. What is this? I just restarted.
Yeah. I have truly broken it.
I don't think you did anything, but
I'm gonna take blame anyways.
this is crazy. Yeah, well, we're on my phone right now, but like this is far from ideal. I wonder if it's because I've got now I'm checking like my phone signal. I don't even know what to make of this. Anyway, so we'll just continue the best we can. I can barely see the chat now though. Because we were going fine.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, that is not helpful. Anyway, we're not going to sit here and just do tech support.
I am certified IT.
You are certified IT. So I'm going to try to put this in a spot where I don't have to hold it the whole time.
Oh no.
Okay, so this is going to have to work for now.
Do you want to come in my room?
Yeah, sure.
Let me get set up.
Okay, I think we're going to try to move rooms. But for now, this is working. Please don't. Thank you. I don't think this is going to help us. Well, let's try to continue the conversation the best we can.
What were we even talking about?
We are talking about you being a nerd. At least. Okay, I think now it will be fine. Okay, I just wanted to keep the chat up because I can't see the chat any other way. All right, well, so sorry about all that. That was really weird. That is really weird. Camera's down there now.
Yes.
So where were we? Will somebody please ask us a question to get us back on track? Because that was insane. Yeah, I'm sorry about the sound feedback. It's because I had my monitor volume on and it was picking it up on the mic and on my phone because we're using my phone to stream this now. But at least it's working.
Yeah.
Looks good, right?
It looks all right.
So yeah, what were we discussing? Do you remember?
Nope.
Okay, I don't either. Maybe we scroll up. Yeah, thanks for that, Sean. Yeah. So anyway, it is what it is. Just trying to find something. Call the internet and tell them to cut the shit. Indeed. That's what it was. Two magnetic personalities in one room. So anyway, I don't know what we were talking about, but Matthew's got a question. Would Eloura be interested to come back on for some nerd discussions? I'd be down for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, your biggest problem is having a stable internet connection with high enough bandwidth where you live.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. Like, especially if it is around 5, 6 o'clock, that's perfectly fine. Like, I'm at home, nobody else is home, and I do have a webcam. I have a little trouble with it, but I'm sure I could figure it out.
Well, nobody's required to be on camera.
And I've done a stream with you before, and I did it all on my phone.
Yeah. We have done at least, you've been on at least once before, if not twice. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought twice.
This is the first time I've broken stuff, though.
Right. Potter would like to know, what is your favorite duck-themed action hero film?
Duck-themed action hero film?
Yeah.
The first thing that comes to mind is Darkwing Duck.
Okay.
That's fine. You just do whatever you want.
Yeah. The first thing that comes to mind is Darkwing
But
Duck.
is that a film?
I don't know if it's really a film. Like, I don't...
It's not. He's looking for a specific answer that you didn't give him, which I
Okay.
think is even better.
Very sorry, but I collect rubber ducks, if that counts.
You do.
I am a very avid rubber duck collector.
I forgot about that. It's been a minute since I... How many do you have?
The last time I counted was like 217.
217 rubber ducks.
All different.
Yeah, I've bought you rubber ducks for like gifts before.
And there's one rubber chicken.
Right? Ooh, Kelly just popped in with one of her standby questions. What's the best and or worst concert you ever been to?
So I've got an answer for you, because it's both.
Okay.
It was coming up 3 years ago. It was at Warped Tour, Van's Warped Tour. And my favorite band at that time was a band called Chelsea Grin. And the way they had Warped Tour set up is they were segmented out in sections based upon the various genres. You know, you got alternative, you got kind of 90s rock style, you got heavy metal over here. And then they had 2 stages in each section.
Right.
And so when one concert was going on over here, the next concert was preparing on the other stage.
That makes sense.
So I wanted to make sure I was in the front, very, very front of the Chelsea Grin concert, which is on stage A. But before they played, a band on the same stage was called Twisted.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Twisted.
Okay. So a band you love and a band you hate, literally at the same place at the same time.
Well, and it was a bunch of very, very sweaty dudes who smelled like cheap weed, rubbing up all against me.
Not the good stuff.
No, definitely not. I got those at the booth. But yeah, so I had to sit through this band that I absolutely despise. And then, you know, after they left, all those kind of people went away. And then I had to stand and wait through another concert on the other stage as they prepped up the band I wanted to see. But I mean, it was a really interesting experience. I mean, there was crowd surfing. I did not partake in that. But there was a guy who did take the crowd surfing, and the security would catch them and then pull them down so they could walk right in front of the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And they dropped one guy. And he smacked the back of his head on the metal barring, and he busted his head open. He got right up and started headbanging, and I got blood on me, which was really scary. But there was blood everywhere, and then he went and got stitched up. But it was, I mean...
Sounds like a good time, man.
Metal, dude. It was metal.
Metal. So, Guilty Undertaker asks is Eric, by the way, if you had to see one music... Yeah, that's your boyfriend's name too. I've met both of them. Well, I haven't met Guilty Undertaker, but I've been on Zoom with him many times. Not the same guy, for the record. But if you had to see one music act before you die, who would it be? And I'm gonna like expand this and be like, it can be even like deceased performers.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley's a good answer.
I mean, I didn't even know. Like, I knew that was what my answer was going to be, but if it was a deceased artist, but yeah, like, if I could have enjoyed Bob Marley right now, I would. I mean, I think that there is such a strong image of him because of his Rastafarianism. But, like, for me, his music is so powerful. I love all of his songs.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Right on, right on. So, circling back to something we just talked about,
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of a movie called Howard the Duck?
I don't think so.
There you go, Potter. She doesn't think so. That's the duck movie he was trying to lead you to. I was a good father and did introduce her to A Song of Ice and Fire, and I was a good father and did not subject her to the travesty that is Howard the Duck, which we will be reviewing soon on the channel, by the way.
I do remember Darkwing Duck. That counts for something, right? Potato backwards.
Yeah, potato backwards, Darkwing Duck. I remember that show and it was good. Matter of fact, I am the terror that flaps in the night. I remember this show. We watched it together when you were very little.
I remember a couple of things, not many.
Yeah.
I also have like the worst memory.
So saw Ziggy and his son play once. That would be cool.
That's cool. That is cool.
So, but you are not really you're not a reggae girl necessarily. Just Bob Marley would be a great concert. What is your music?
Everything except country. I mean, I love it. I love classical. Some rap is okay. I mean, I like pop. I mean, I like everything.
Right.
There is a duck in A Song of Ice and Fire.
There was a guy called Duck, Sir Raleigh Duckfield.
But I mean, there's the duck in Monty Python's Holy Grail.
You're right. If she weighs as much as a duck,
she's a witch.
So I'm going to tell you, this guy right here, who said he's seen Ziggy as well. Dan did a stream with my good friend Nessie on her channel where they talked about that movie. You should go check that out sometime because it was fantastic. Dan's entry is mwah. And Dan works in the video game industry, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Which I think is something you want to do one day.
Maybe. I mean, I did for a long time.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't like doing the same thing all the time. And I know when it comes to like certain video game designs, it really can be like that. Like you're just focusing on one segment or you're reading the same lines of code to find the mistake.
Right.
I would rather have something that's different and something that allows me more creative freedom as opposed to following a certain protocol.
Okay. So Dan, she's not interested.
I mean, I'll take a job. I'll take a job.
I'm kidding. Oh my gosh, I just realized you can see the keys of the keyboard right here.
Your fingers look really pudgy.
They are really pudgy. By the way.
See, now we gotta put two little white lines so it gets that 3D effect.
Right. I hope everybody has their 3D glasses on for that.
Yes.
This conversation has gotten completely out of control.
Technical difficulties aside.
Yeah, technical difficulties. That really threw me, by the way. Like she. So, do you enjoy the hip hop?
Yes.
Can you say that out loud?
Hip hop.
No. Do you enjoy? I do.
I do enjoy the hip hop.
There you go.
I've got a bad back, so I'm hip hopping anyway.
Yeah, you do have a bad back. Unfortunately, you inherited some of my difficulties in my spine too.
Yeah, including your breasts.
Yeah, you do have your father's boobs. Yeah. What is your passion in games? I.e., story, gameplay, art design?
I mean, nobody can turn down a good story. But, okay, there's I wouldn't call it a new game, but Death Stranding, okay? I could not stand playing that game, but I was so involved in the story, but I couldn't do it. So I watched somebody else suffer through the gameplay. I watched another YouTuber play it, so I still got, like, the story. So, like, gameplay is more important to me than I thought it was. Because I mean, it was just a walking simulator, but for me, it's a balance between good story and good interaction.
Okay.
And any part of any game that I appreciate the most is having the ability to choose how your character goes. I mean, not necessarily like an RPG way, but like, can I do good things? Can I do bad things? What are the consequences for doing good things and the bad things? Story doesn't need to have multiple endings. Like, Mass Effect has a couple, but the main bulk of the story is the same, and whether you do good things or bad things, most of the story is still the same. There's maybe a few things that are slightly different,
Right.
but most of it stays the same, and I appreciate that. Like, I become more personal with my character, so at that point, like, I'm more emotionally involved when things happen. I love to be devastated in games. I love to cry.
Like, it's odd that you say that, but I totally get it. There's something about that catharsis of having that emotional response to something.
Well, and my favorite video game ever is called Nier, Nier. I'm sure many people have heard of Nier Automata. So Nier Replicant just came out. It is the prequel to Nier Automata, which is just really a remake of the original because different companies bought the title and remade it. But I mean, you want to talk about emotionally devastating? There's hardly a moment where I don't cry. It's so, I mean, and Square Enix is very good about doing that. 99% of Mass Effect fans love The Expanse. I still haven't seen it. I'm the 1% as well.
Yeah. And I get why. Having played Mass Effect and watched The Expanse, I understand why. We'll throw up Matthew's question. You can answer as much or as little of this as you want. Like, nobody's trying to dox you or anything, but like, say as much as you want about this topic.
Oh, it's fine. So I'm studying something called UX and UI design, and I absolutely want to talk about it because a lot of people don't know what it is. So I think putting this out there. So UX and UI is user experience and user interface design. So when you make a website, it's easy to just slap something on there with a web designer or graphic designer. They can do some things to make a website look okay. But what I would end up doing is rechanging that website so this is good for the users to use. So if you use YouTube a lot, what's something that would make YouTube easier for you to use? Would it be easier for you to just have automatic drop down list of the people you follow the most? Should YouTube have an algorithm of people who you watch more and put their videos higher up?
Mm-hmm.
Those would be things that I would integrate and figure out a way how to design those things, and then I would give it to a coding team and they would program it. So I mean, it's just stuff like that. It's about learning about what you, the user, want from the website that you use so that you keep coming back.
Right. So yours is more like an ease of use for webs or apps or what have you.
Right. And I'm focused on customers.
Right. Right. Cool. So basically the job that people making Goodreads are missing.
Yes.
Apparently they have a terrible user experience.
Oh goodness. I'll beat them up.
But I don't subscribe to Goodreads. It's well established that I don't know how to read.
I'm dyslexic, so I understand.
Yeah. Well, but that doesn't mean you've never read.
Maybe.
Do you have a favorite book?
I wasn't prepared for this question.
Well, those are my favorites. Anybody who's been here for a while knows those are my favorite questions.
I don't read a whole lot, but like the first book that comes to mind is Animal Farm.
Great book.
By George Orwell.
Great book.
I love that book. Then there's Where the Red Fern Grows. Like, these are books I read in school.
Right.
So
you don't really do much reading for pleasure.
Not really.
I mean, that's fair. I don't either.
Well, there are many times where I'm just reading and reading and reading and reading, and then I read something, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's dyslexia for you.
And then I have to go back, and I end up going back like 2 or 3 chapters, and then I'm frustrated, and then I just throw the book and say, I'm done.
Yeah.
Much more into writing. Yes, I love comic books, Kelly.
Are you into any comic books?
I love.
Yes, next question. Or you can expand upon that.
I love reading the original Titans by DC, which also is like Teen Titans. I love reading about them. Those are probably some of my favorites to read. My LGS sells a few of them, and I pick them up whenever I can because my 4-year-old is obsessed with Teen Titans.
Nice.
I even have a Raven cosplay.
Yeah, I've seen your Raven cosplay.
It's been a long time since I put it on. I don't even know if I fit in it anymore.
You would.
I've had a baby since then.
Yeah, but you'll still fit in it. I promise you.
Yes.
You can't necessarily notice, but this one is tiny.
I am 5 foot even.
Okay, and very thin.
Yes, 97 pounds last time I weighed.
There you go. So teeny tiny. I'm tall. She is not tall. You got your mom's height, but you got the rest of your build from me.
Yes, and my 4-year-old comes up to my chest. She is just shy of 4 feet. And she's 4.
She's gonna be tall one.
Unfortunately.
Mom brings up a good question. Have you ever been to a convention and have you done cosplay? We kind of just covered that, but like, yes.
Yes, I have been to a lot of conventions, and I have worn my cosplays to conventions. A few years ago, I used to do some light modeling, and I did do some modeling with my Raven cosplay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, except for the dad gut. Thanks, Mom. You're right.
I'm still working on that one.
Right. Give her 20 odd years to catch up to me, and yeah, she'll have a dad gut.
25 to be safe.
Yeah, 25. We'll say dad gut.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to call it. But yeah, you like I think the first convention you ever went to, I took you, Project Acon.
Yep.
Which is a big anime one here in Dallas.
And it always ends up happening right around my birthday.
Mm-hmm,
it would have happened this weekend.
Except it didn't happen this year.
Right.
Or last
COVID.
year.
But they expect to be here next year. And my birthday will be on a Sunday next year, I think.
You'll be the one we throw over the wall to unlock the gate for the rest of us. Yeah, because she would be able to fly. Unfortunately, on landing, she would be broken.
I could probably squeeze through the bars, though. You got some bars and you just... Or you can dig a small hole under the wall. I can crawl under.
That's true. Like, we might be able to slide you under the door.
Yeah.
Or through the mail slot.
Yeah.
I love that we're planning a caper.
I don't know if you remember this. I think it was right around 10. You had bought this really old truck. And sometimes the key would not unlock the door.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have to shove me through the back window.
Yeah, the little sliding back window.
So I could open the truck.
This is a good question from Tish.
That's a very long question.
I will read it to you.
Thank you.
Do you feel dyslexia has meant you were excluded from some nerd stuff you wanted to get into? If so, what? From a fellow dyslexic who would love to get into comics but just can't.
When it comes to comics, I'm not scared of my dyslexia. Like, the longer the paragraphs, the more intimidating they are. And when it comes to comics, they're typically very short. But not just that, but the main part of comics is put into the art. Everything they have is put into that art. And the art kind of explains what's going on. So you kind of get like a children's picture book there, in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it is.
But that's not the real question. The real question is, do you feel like having dyslexia has made you feel like you're excluded from something?
Some things, yeah. Like, I've tried at least 4 times, I know right off the top of my head, to read the whole Lord of the Rings series, and I just
I've said it myself.
I can't even get through the first chapter. I haven't read a lot of things. So yeah, like, I do feel like there is some exclusion. However, they have audiobooks for some of these things now,
Mm-hmm.
and much better audiobooks. so that it's more vivid for me, because being able to see it and hear it helps my brain work through it a little bit better. My other problem is, like I said, like sometimes I'm just reading and I completely then just don't know.
Yeah, you don't have retention.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have a similar problem, to be honest.
So yeah, I can kind of completely understand the feeling of exclusion.
Need to make sure that this is muted. It is. Okay. I just need this for something here in a minute. Anyway, but yeah, I tend to kind of agree with you. Like, people are always talking about, oh, you should really read this or you should really read that, and I'm like, I read at half the speed of most other people, and it can be a slog to get through.
See, my boyfriend is obsessed with reading. Like, he is always on royalroad.com, which is where people like write their own stories and submit them. I mean, he loves to read, and I ask him to read to me, and he tells me no, because he doesn't like to read aloud, which I get. Which, I mean, I wish I could share that passion with him, because I mean, I love to write, which is different than reading, because like I'll write something and I'm like, wow, this is so good, and then I try to read it and my brain is just like, nope, you don't want to read. So it does make writing for me a lot more difficult, because like sometimes I have things that should go together but they got split apart by something else, and so it's hard for me. So I like to have my boyfriend like read it over, and then he's just like, yeah, no, this is garbage, throw it away.
But like I totally get that. I mean, for the right story, I'm still gonna like, I'm gonna put in the effort.
Yeah, and
like I mean, I did with the Song of Ice and Fire.
If you really do want to read things like comics, just take it at your own pace. Like that, I think that's something that's kind of nice about reading. Like, nobody is there to judge you, unless you're in high school and you're having to read out loud. Then absolutely everybody is judging you.
Right.
But in this case, like, you can just kind of take your time. If you're having frustrations, just put it down.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. Don't beat your head against the wall, because you're not going to get anywhere you want to. Matthew got a good question. How do you feel like your dyslexia bothers you the most now, or how did it in the past?
I've had trouble filling out applications. A lot of the
time. That's that.
Because they're always asking things. I also have a weird processing disorder, so having dyslexia and a processing disorder, they don't go hand in hand, or they do in a very chaotic, evil way. But you know, and there have been times where I've had to write book reports. In the state of Texas, they have the state exams. I failed the reading and writing almost every year I was in high school. So I had to retake them, and there was one time where I failed it a second time and had to do summer school. Because I failed the state test.
Yeah, I remember.
Which, like, I'm not by any means dumb or don't.
No, you're not by any means. Like, you're actually very bright.
But like when it came to those state tests, they were so difficult for me. Especially they're like, you get like an hour and a half to do this test. Like, that puts anxiety on top of you, and then I'm having to struggle reading, and I didn't know that I had dyslexia at that time.
Right.
So I didn't know that I needed help. So like it was a very difficult thing for me. Yep.
Well, you don't have to take tests anymore.
Sometimes.
But you still do have to fill out applications sometimes. Yeah. Kelly's got a good question. Have you been sorted into a Hogwarts house? And if so, which one?
I was waiting for this to happen. So I've never seen Harry Potter.
I didn't know that.
I know a lot about Harry Potter.
Sure.
So many people talk about it.
I did not know that. I've seen them all.
I've never seen Harry Potter.
How is this possible?
But you did send me a link at one time to sort me into a house, and it was the one I thought I would be in anyways, which is Ravenclaw.
Okay. Do you know which house I'm in?
I see you in Hufflepuff.
Yeah, you are correct. Hashtag Puff Pride.
They're kind of like the most wholesome people.
Kelly really likes that you're chaotic evil. You yourself are not chaotic evil.
No.
You're chaotic good.
Yeah, Chaotic good, chaotic neutral. Definitely chaotic though.
Have you seen Jaws?
Yes, love Jaws.
Yeah.
I even know how to play the shark theme on the trumpet.
Okay.
I also know a little bit of the Jurassic Park theme on trumpet.
You did play trumpet in high school.
It's been about 6 years since I
Yeah,
picked one
marching
up.
band and all that. Yeah, not being able to fit into or meet state mandated standards is absolutely no personal strike. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing against that.
But you know, it's really hard, especially like when you're 15 years old in high school and you had all A's throughout the year and you're having to do summer school for failing a test. Like it really affects your self-esteem at that rate. You know, like I know I'm not dumb and I love to write, but I had difficulty because I'm like, I can write you a freaking essay.
Right.
And you're asking me to fill one page? My brain doesn't work for one page.
Again, it's like we it is a testament to it is not for everyone. I always did very well on them, but I also understand that like they played to my strengths. Often they weren't paragraphs long, so I didn't have to read a whole lot at any one time. There wasn't a whole lot of other words around for me to start getting confused with. And I do have I'm a visual reading comprehension type of person, but not everybody takes tests the way I do, you know? So we've been going for a little over an hour now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do the mid-roll.
Okay.
And at the mid-roll, this is wait. This is the part where I say, we're usually much more professional than this. I'm going to figure out what's wrong with my camera and microphone from the computer. So come back next week where this will not be happening. Where we'll be talking. It's not you. I don't know what it is.
I mean, I touched the mouse, and that's when the computer froze.
Yeah, but like, I don't know about any of that. But at any rate, come back next week where I will have this all sorted out. We'll be back to our normal level of competence, and we'll be talking about season 5 of the Clone Wars, which I started watching today, by the way. I watched 4 episodes of that today while you were kind of napping.
Deeply integrated into a couch.
Yeah. But yeah, so next week is season 5, The Clone Wars. I've enjoyed what I've seen so far as well this season, so I'm enjoying it, which is good, which is really good. John and Nessie will be back next week for that. This is also the part where I say, oh yeah, this is YouTube. Like, subscribe, you know, all that stuff. Because the algorithm gods reward me for that. What else? Oh yeah, I've got patrons, and they are our patron high council is, of course, Lord John Bronsteen the Wise, Sixto Sounds, aka JP the Axe Grinder, and of course, ridiculous Ed Tollett. Sean, buddy, drive safe. I know you're probably walking out the door of work any minute, so drive safe on the way home. And they are supported by the lords and ladies of the realm, who are Lady Leaf Underhill, Ryan Stavka, the Russian Quartermaster, and Reflective Rambling. Some of them folks are here in the chat right now. As a matter of fact, there's our alpha patron, Ridiculous Ed Tollett. Just got out.
Oh,
see y'all later.
I'm dyslexic. I saw toilet.
Yeah. It's not toilet. It's Tollett. It's a reference to A Song of Ice and Fire.
Okay. Sorry.
Ridiculous Ed the Toilet.
Yes.
Sean, my apologies.
Mine too.
So yeah, and then I don't know what John and Nessie have coming up right now. Oh, there's something I do need to address. This one is biggish. We have a second channel now. It is exclusively for my gaming content because I don't want to clog up Here Be Dragons with just a whole bunch of gaming stuff and then streams every once in a while. So go down into the description of the video you're watching right now and subscribe to Here Be Games. It's the first link in the description. And that's where we'll be doing gaming content. Now, I had thought I was going to start this week, but I don't think I'm going to start my extra game streams this week. I'm going to push it back 1 week because I'm starting a new job tomorrow, and I also have a whole season of Clone Wars to watch this week. So we will be doing Thursday Baldur's Gate, which we've been doing for the last month and a half. That will continue, but I won't add any more until next week. But from here on out, all the game streams will be on the Here Be Games channel. So go there and do that. Now, you said during the mid-roll there was something.
Yes. I have a special gift for you.
Okay, let's see it.
Okay.
It was her birthday yesterday, and she gave me a gift. Okay, it is a picture frame.
So, I bought you a 1 square meter in Scotland where they will plant a tree in your name.
Okay.
But with that comes the official title of a lord. You are officially Lord Stephen Stark.
Oh my gosh. Lord Stephen Stark of Blair Adam. Certificate of Disposition and Proclamation between Scotland titles in Glasgow.
And it gives you the exact coordinates, so if you ever go there, you can go visit your estate.
Nice. I can go visit my tree?
Yes.
This is cool. The Scotland titles estate in Fife, Scotland, hereinafter referred to as the state, has petitioned into dedication souvenir parts of land. That is so cool.
You are officially a lord.
I am officially a lord in Scotland because it says it right there. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the wrong camera. I'm not sure how. There it is. Lord Stephen Stark. I mean, I'm Lord Stark. Finally.
For reals.
For reals, y'all. What's that?
Well, and while we're giving gifts, one of our lovely ladies on here made this for your daughter.
Oh.
I think I know what this is.
I know you know what this is.
It's Lee! I love
the camera.
Lee's
There you go.
stuff.
You're showing the back of it. That's the front. Yeah.
But oh my God, Leaf, it is so beautiful, and I love it. It looked blue on the camera, but it's not blue here. But I love it. It's going on me right now.
Yeah. Do we have to swear fealty to you now, Lord Stark? I mean, we're all swear fealty to the king, who is Aziz, right?
I'm gonna get this one.
The king and queen are Aziz and Ashea, so, but like, I'm probably a lord, and I'm one of the lesser lords in the realm. You don't have to swear fealty to me. But if you did, I wouldn't hate it. And yeah, I do love the necklace. It's very nice. You've got it on backwards.
Fine. I worked hard to get it on, so.
Do you want me to fix it for you?
Nope.
You're wearing it backwards, though.
Hey, if I was wearing my shirt backwards in public, I'd just wear it with pride. Pretend it's intentional.
Okay. Is it an elven brooch? Well, I don't think that it is. I don't think that it's like a Lothlorien brooch, but Leaf makes all kinds of really cool ceramic leaf artwork.
Yes.
And that's what it is. Lady Leaf, that is.
Still waiting on that lampshade. That was my favorite. That looked really pretty. Well, congratulations.
Thanks, man. It's cool. It is pretty cool. I'm not there. Like, there's a whole lot of words here, and I don't read fast. The size of the land is 1 square meter. Just, I don't know. It's kind of crazy and weird, and I need to go to Scotland now. Who wants to come to Scotland with me?
I'll go. Never been out of country.
Yep. So one of the things we talk about doing is having a little mini convention for like just like our regulars, calling it HereBeCon. But they're talking about doing one in Europe called Therbicon. So Therbicon in Scotland. Let's go. Let's go.
We can go visit Lord Stephen's tree.
Yes.
I mean, I thought it was a really, really cool thing, and it's still benefiting, the planet. You're planting a tree.
Oh, Tish lives in Scotland. I forgot about that.
Oh, we can give her the little coordinations reference number. She can go take a picture of your tree.
Go take a picture of my tree, which has been planted. So it's probably like this big.
Yes. Little baby
Lord
tree.
Stephen's stick. But yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, sweetheart. I got you
Up here.
I did more than that too,
yes.
But like, yeah. I took care of you for your birthday.
Yes.
Your mom took care of you for your birthday too.
Yes.
So good birthday.
Yeah.
Best one you've had in a few years.
Very much so.
Yeah. We're not here to talk about those past ones though.
Nope.
Nope.
No, thank you.
Okay, so the camera is drifting or something. I think
your phone.
Oh, it's the phone. Duh. That's right. Okay. That looks pretty good.
I guess.
It
would look better if it was on the computer.
Oh, Leaf says it would be better on the computer.
It's okay.
Yeah, we forgive you, Leaf. You only sent an awesome other gift.
Yes. This is acceptable. It's beyond acceptable. I love it. It's so pretty.
Yep.
And, eventually I'll get an apartment, and when I do, I'll call you for a lampshade, because that's what I really want. Her artwork is amazing.
Kate, asking on behalf of John Webster, my co-host.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly says, do you have a favorite film score or movie film soundtrack? Because you do watch movies.
I do. But the most current soundtrack that's downloaded on my phone right now is from Steven Universe.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I love Steven Universe. No, I'm not going to deny that. But one, like, a single sound or a single score or a full soundtrack for an entire movie that I really love. I mean, for me, it's kind of there's not one that like goes right off the top of my head, other than maybe Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones is great. I mean, it's John Williams.
And there's, I mean, and it's not just like the Indiana Jones song. It's like the other music throughout the story that's still, because music and sound is very lucrative to the effect of the movie.
He's a hero, you're a loser. He's a hero, you're a loser. Yep.
A loser.
A loser, a loser, a loser. Yep. So my daughter and I, as you can tell, are pretty close. We do have fun together. We even have a father-daughter super secret handshake.
This is true.
You want to see it? I bet you do. Okay, so the camera's here, so we need to make sure that the camera can see it. But like,
I'm old.
Prepare to have your minds blown at our super, super secret handshake. You ready?
Ready. Not the most smooth.
No, and I think we kind of came up. So let's
keep it low.
Not too bad. Not too bad. I bet you don't have a super secret handshake with your dad. Cool kids only, right?
I'm cool.
You're that's why you're wearing your hat.
Yeah, because I'm too cool for school.
Oh, thanks, Potter. I'm really glad. Kelly will sort us out for transportation to Scotland. She will seal a boat and sail us across the ocean.
Okay. Is it a paddle boat?
No, No. It is a sailing vessel.
Okay, we're sailing the whole boat.
Yeah, and we will turn up to a life of piracy.
What about a yacht? They don't go fast, but luxury.
John, you just missed film score like by seconds. You just missed it. You missed us singing together. It was horrifying.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're bad at singing.
Okay, so trying to remember how long we've had that handshake. You were
under 14, so
you were
no,
way more than that.
at least 10.
I was going to say you were 10.
Yeah, at most 10.
Yeah.
So anywhere between 10 to 14 years.
Yep. Yeah, so John, I mean, just rewatch and it's after the mid roll, so you can at least if you get past the mid roll, you know you're getting close. We had fun singing the lyrics to the Indiana Jones theme song. Yeah, so I can't wait for you to watch that and get a little handshake.
And see your super awesome special gift.
Yeah. Danny says super secret handshakes for his first fandom.
Okay.
Like we all get our start somewhere.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but I did notice that a couple of the moves in our handshake is actually in the first Toy Story.
Is it?
Yes. So Buzz's arm comes off and Woody has his arm, he's hanging it over, and he's just kind of waving the arm. He's just like, yeah, we're doing so good. And then, they lock their hands and go, and I was like, oh, hey, that's part of our handshake right there.
I forget where it came from, but it doesn't matter. It's our super secret handshake.
Oh, I think we learned it from Kelly and Blake.
You might be right.
I know they at least had a part in it.
Because they knew it too. But it's ours.
Yeah.
We hijacked it.
Yep.
Nobody knows it but us anymore.
Exactly. You tried to teach Lolo.
I did. Didn't work out too well yet.
Oh, we'll get her in there.
So yeah. Wow, time is flying. We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes so far.
Yep.
Let's turn this conversation to something else nerdy though.
Okay.
What is something that you're kind of like have been getting into that I don't know about yet? Or something that people like, what's your sort of rare gem nerd thing?
That's a good question.
I feel like it might be an anime of some kind just because you watch.
See, like, I haven't been, like, super into, like, I have things that go through phases because I get bored of doing, like, the same thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I go through, like, it's just bizarre shows, and then I go to, like, maybe horror, and then I go to maybe, like, it's like a weird spastic cycle that's not a cycle. It's just sometimes I get bored of something and have to go to something else. And I'd watched so much anime. It was time for a break because the last anime I had watched was Naruto along with Naruto Shippuden, which is 750 episodes altogether. So your brain is kind of done
right
after that. So I needed a
but
break.
But is there a rare gem out there amongst the ones you watched, or is something you're watching currently? What are you watching currently? What's the last show you watched?
The Good Doctor and Hoarders.
Okay. I mean, that's not technically true. The last thing you watched was Lego Masters.
Yeah, this is true. I did watch Lego Masters today just before the stream.
So did I.
Because I'm glad we talked about it too, because I didn't know that there was a second season yet, and the second season just started. And for those of you who haven't seen it, it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
First season is awesome. I mean, you want to see some cool Lego stuff and know that these people have literally no life.
Well, they have a life, but Lego is a big part of their life. They're Lego nerds.
I couldn't sit there for 14 hours.
Because Legos aren't your life.
Right.
Like, don't say they have no life. They have a life they love.
I have no life. And all I do with my life is watch anime or watch some weird TV show that has nothing to do with me. And I've also watched a lot of America's Got Talent too. I'm just kind of in this weird mood of watching weird things. Nothing nerdy.
But yeah, that Lego show, Lego Masters on Hulu, is actually really, really great. I agree. The first season was fantastic. It's hosted by Will Arnett too, who's got that sort of like the right personality to be a over the top host type character.
It's 217 actually.
Yeah. 217 ducks.
Yes.
Kelly's got a good question. Do you prefer anime inspired artwork, or do you have a favorite DC comic artist?
I don't really follow a lot of artists, and
Fair enough.
Especially like DC.
You're a Marvel girl?
I do like Marvel more. I really do.
Okay.
But I mean, There are a lot of similarities between the two. There are, okay? They both got some rich boy who pours his money into being a vigilante, okay? One of them's more a vigilante, one of them's more of a upfront superhero, but still, like, some rich guy who just wants to fight bad guys for different reasons. But still, like, there are a lot of similarities in some of the characters. But I did watch a video rather recently about really old,
like Golden Age art.
well, not Golden Age art, but just like some of the weird comic characters.
Oh,
Like the Megamorph gal. She transforms to however people treat her. So if somebody treats her well, she'll be very beautiful. So she'll feel beautiful. But if someone's mean to her, she'll turn into like this mean, ugly monster. It seemed really interesting. It's something I actually like genuinely want to read.
yeah, but like, what a terrible sort of like parallel to, if somebody's mean to you, you're going to be bad person. But like, what does that say about, you're responsible for who you are. Sorry.
Exactly.
I don't like it. I don't like it. By the way, we are adorable together.
Oh God. I don't know how they see past you. I'm the adorable one.
Yeah.
They even have a shirt that says it.
That shirt says adorkable.
Yes.
Not adorable.
Close enough.
Close enough.
I'm dyslexic, so it doesn't matter to me.
So, Matthew's got a great question here. Have you ever watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? And if you did you like it? And why is it the best Spider-Man movie ever?
I have not.
You haven't.
I have not.
I
told you, I've got a really big long list, and some days there's just not motivation to.
Yeah, but I'll answer. Yes, I've seen it. Yes, it's the best one. Why is it the best one? Because it's relatable to every Spider-Man fan, literally every one of them.
And I mean, I've heard nothing but.
Do you see the icon for his art icon? That is a Miles Morales tag from that movie.
Oh, really?
I picked when Matthew, the first time Matthew showed up in the chat, and I popped that up and could see it. I was like, oh, I know what that is. And yes, I agree, Matthew. That movie is very nearly perfect. I love it.
But, look, I didn't very much.
This movie did not exist when I was her legal, like when you were a minor. That movie did not exist yet.
Or when I at least saw you on an almost day-to-day basis.
Right, and so as an adult, you have chosen not to watch this film yet.
No, but I've been harassed a lot about watching it. Like I've said, I've also got a very terrible memory. I will probably forget in like 5 minutes about this.
Yeah, well, it's a fantastic movie. I love that film.
Well, what streaming services is it on?
Is it on Disney Plus?
It was on Disney Plus.
I don't know. It's a Sony. We'll look, but yeah, you should watch it. He's good. Right. That's another part of it. Like, she has a 4-year-old
who's obsessed with Powerpuff Girls and Steven Universe and Teen Titans, so she wants to watch all of those.
Exactly. Like,
and she lives in the middle of nowhere where they don't have internet, so she doesn't get access to those things. So the only time she does is when I'm there.
Right.
Paw Patrol. Oh my God, I have to hear another thing about Paw Patrol.
Yeah. So I mean, there are reasons. The same reasons that when you were 4 years old, there was a lot of stuff I didn't get to see. There's still gaps of stuff I haven't gone back to see.
Yeah. I'm sure there's about like 15 years back worth of stuff I'd love to see.
Yeah.
And it's like sometimes it's just a mental thing. Like, because I get very passionate because whenever I watch anything, I watch it twice.
Yeah.
First time just for complete immersion, I'm not judging. And then when I watch the second time, I'm doing nothing but judging. That
sounds like the way that we do our stuff here. Like we do retro reviews, and a lot of times that's how I feel like I'm watching the movies. That I've watched them for pleasure in the past, and then we're going to do a retro review. So I'm watching and I'm like, nope, I don't like that editing choice, or really like what they did with the cinematography there.
Yeah.
It is a whole different way of
or hey, the director didn't really need to add that in there.
Right. Sadly, no Spider-Man movies on Disney Plus. Except, well, the MCU ones are, I would imagine, but the other ones aren't because it's Sony. Yeah. Have you ever walked out of a movie because it was so terrible?
Pet Sematary.
Okay.
The remake of Pet Sematary.
Okay.
I love horror. We're the only ones in the theater. It's so bad. I just couldn't get behind it.
Right. Well, it'd be like that sometimes.
It is.
Again, horror fan.
Yes, avid.
I'm Googling right now to see what service it's on. Amazon Prime. Yeah. Looks like, yeah.
I can get it on Voodoo. I'll rent it on Voodoo.
There you go. Not even the Tom Holland ones? Really?
Hello. Okay. I really did fall in love with Tom Holland, especially.
Yeah, he's really good.
I mean, okay.
So who's your favorite superhero?
Kind of biased.
Is it Tony?
It's absolutely Tony.
It's Uncle Tony?
It's Uncle Tony, absolutely.
Right. How could it not be? Okay, so remove Tony Stark. Who's your favorite superhero? Remove your bias.
Remove my bias.
Can't pick Tony.
Okay. It's probably still in the MCU though.
I mean, that's fine, and mine is too.
Loki. I like Loki a lot.
Yeah, solid choice. He's got his show is coming out what in 2 days?
I didn't know he's getting a show.
Oh, you didn't know that? Do you have Disney Plus?
Yes.
The Loki show starts in like 2 days.
All right, I will probably be avidly watching that.
Yeah.
Keep out for that.
Yeah, there's trailers for it, and they're great.
One of my favorite parts. It was, I don't remember which one it was in, but it was Chris Hemsworth completely did it. It was off script. It was just kind of unplanned, but he was talking about it was like, yeah, when Loki and I were younger, Loki transformed him into a snake because he knew I love snakes, and then I picked it up and I was like, oh, look at this snake, and then he transformed back and then stabbed me. He was like, ha, I got you. I mean, that was not meant to be in the script, so both reactions of both of them were absolutely genuine, and it's so good. I mean, I always love finding out about stuff that wasn't on scripts and was just complete improv by actors. Because that shows true skills, like when you become your character.
And when you can respond as your character.
It's so good.
By the way, the 9th, today being the 6th. So Wednesday is episode 1 of Loki on Disney Plus.
Okay, I thought Wednesday was the 8th, but well, I'm so bad at remembering days. No, I see it now.
Right there, Wednesday.
Well, what a shame, because I thought I got paid on the 8th, but I get paid on the 8th.
Matthew thinks that Icarus is going to be the best because it's Richard Madden. Do you know who Richard Madden is off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head. The name sounds familiar. But
so he played Robb Stark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he's in the Eternals movie that is coming up. You don't keep up with the MCU that much.
I don't.
I know you've seen them, but you don't like.
I don't avidly follow a lot of things. Like when I'm watching a new show, I watch out for new episodes, but there's not a lot of things where I'm like, oh, this and this and this and this and this, and I'm always constantly following the news about it or any social medias about it. I just kind of live, and then when something cool happens, I just go for it. But I'm not just like, oh, cool, this thing's coming out in 3 months. Can't wait. And I would rather just be really surprised that it just shows up one day.
Retro review his Mystery Men. Have you seen Mystery Men? I think you have, actually. Because I used to have that on DVD. So maybe I think you have, and you just don't remember it. It's about a bunch of D-rank superheroes. And I love it. I love it.
I've been trying really hard to be able to watch the TV show Heroes again.
Heroes. Okay.
You remember that show?
Oh yeah, I remember. We watched it together.
That was. I remember being very young and then just seeing the girl who had her they were doing her surgery and they had her like completely open, and she had a little thing going through her neck. And once they pulled it out, she came back to life and then stuck out of the morgue.
Yeah, the cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah, save the cheerleader, save the world.
Oh.
I really did like the first season of that show. Has anyone asked Eloura about celebrity crushes? So, Eloura, about celebrity crushes?
It's 3.
Okay.
2 of them are named Chris. Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, they're both. Especially Chris Hemsworth with the Thor hair. Oh, I got a thing for long hair.
Have you seen the production photos?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh! All right, so I'm just gonna pull up.
And the third one is Johnny Depp.
I'm just going to Google Love and Thunder, right? And we will go to images, and there was they took a photo on because they just wrapped.
Oh my god!
Look at Chris Hemsworth. Well, that didn't work out.
Maybe Jason Momoa.
Look at those arms on this guy. So Google Love and Thunder. You know, which is the new Thor film, and there's a picture of Chris Hemsworth from the wrap, and he's like made out of meat, solid, just like beef, man. Jason
Momoa is yummy.
Yes, he is. I agree. I've said it before. I'm straight, but I would let him spoon me all night.
It'd probably be a very nice spoon.
I would. You would.
I mean, you'd probably never feel safer.
Right, exactly.
Now what happens if he wants to be Little Spoon?
So, is there a third one, or is Jason Momoa?
Johnny Depp and Jason Momoa. So
okay.
Chris Evans is probably the lowest one in that one. I mean, I like Chris Evans. He also got a pretty nice butt. Scarlett Johansson's also nice.
That's America's ass.
Yeah, I know. It could be mine though.
I suppose.
Scarlett Johansson's also very good looking. And then
well, there's not a bad looking person in the MCU. Let's be honest.
Well, and then there's I don't remember this actress's name right off the top of my head, but she was one of the main characters in the Resident Evil movies.
Oh, Mila Jovovich.
And then she was like the main character in the Monster Hunter movie.
I didn't see Monster Hunter, but Mila Jovovich is the one that does the Resident Evil movies. She was also Lilu in The Fifth Element.
Oh yeah, her. She's also pretty high up there.
Yeah, I'm actually interested to see that as well. I'm interested to see Natalie Portman with some guns, you know, because she's gonna be back. Yeah. So guys, we're 20-ish minutes from the end here. You guys have had some great questions, but
yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, keep throwing them out. And I'm going to ask you some other stuff. Okay, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
What? Why?
I hate this question.
I love this question.
I hate it. Okay. While a sandwich is, on most occasions 2 slices of bread. But you go to Subway, it's kind of all like one slice, one solid slice.
Right.
But a sandwich, you eat that way. A hot dog, you eat that way. You wouldn't eat your sandwich that way, because that'd be weird.
So it's more about the method in which you consume it. Okay. That is not an answer I've heard before. I am of a hot dog is definitely a sandwich camp, but Guilty Undertaker says that a hot dog is not a sandwich, it's a taco.
I am more on that side than I am.
Okay, so it really is about how you.
Because think about it. Like, would you eat your sandwich that way? Like, it's just weird. So I don't feel like it really is a sandwich. Well, it's got the meat. It's got a sauce of some kind. It's sometimes got toppings. I don't feel like it's a sandwich.
Okay. Okay. Like, you don't have to convince me. You can't convince me.
I'm not here to. The answer to this question is yes.
What? You're insane.
No, I'm not.
Yes. What? A waffle is not a pancake.
Yes. They are like the same exact thing.
They're not, though.
Yes. The method in which you make them is slightly different.
Look. If I took batter and poured it in a skillet and flipped it over and gave you a round, solid, flat thing and said, here's your waffle, you'd be like, that's not a waffle. That's a pancake.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Yes.
You have to have a waffle iron.
To me, they're the same thing.
Well,
see, that's it.
A toasted pancake.
Thank you, Greta.
Yeah.
She came to my side.
Yeah. Well, I don't like. You're all just incorrect. I do not subscribe to this toasted pancake. A waffle is a waffle, and it is vastly superior to a pancake.
Okay, whatever you say. You're there. I don't have a captain, but I do have a bride and groom.
Yeah. Do you have a pirate duck?
Yes.
Ah.
I have a cow duck. I've got a tiger duck. I've got a giraffe duck. I've got.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a captain. I have a sea captain rubber duck.
Yeah. Kelly is a sailor.
Oh, okay. So I do have one then.
Kelly sails like historical sailing ships.
Oh, that's really, really cool.
Yeah. She's one of the cooler people here.
I do have a first mate duck and a sailor and a captain sailor duck.
Nice.
I do have both of those.
And
it's hard to remember. I had 217 of them.
Right.
Can only remember like the best ones.
But yeah, there you go.
Oh, I guess I am no longer invited.
Because of your terrible answers about pancakes and hot dogs.
Well, you know, that's fine. I'll just keep my opinions to myself. I'll just remain silent.
Right. Look, I have deep-seated beliefs about some things. And to be honest with you, this pancake hot dog thing ain't one of them. But it's fun to pretend that it is. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Eric. Kelly does have the coolest job of all of us. She gets to live in, what is it, 1607, Kelly? 1607, I believe. Oh, and that's cool. A woman came to the museum where she works with her Captain Rubber Duck for a photo shoot.
That's cool.
It is cool.
I'll be the next one. But I'm going to bring all 217.
Right. Do you remember what started you down that rubber duck path?
Yes.
Okay.
So you were still around. We used to go to this old church.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin and Shannon, their daughter Julia, had collected rubber ducks, but she was moving out of their house, so she gave me the rubber ducks that she had. And I liked them. Some of them were kind of weird, and then it just kind of snowballed from there very quickly, out of control. To the point I've had friends of mine who got really, really drunk and then paid like the little quarter claw machines to just get me ducks. I think I have a devil duck somewhere.
I know you do. You have a devil duck and an angel duck.
I was trying to get a whole nativity scene at one point.
That would be funny.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time so much fun.
Who sings that song?
I have no idea.
It's Ernie from the Sesame Street.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and from now on, you should let him do the singing.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
My dreams are dead.
Yeah, because your dream was to be a singer.
Yep, like Justin Bieber. I sound more like a dude.
Do you have Duck Jesus?
So I actually did find a rubber duck nativity scene, but they were missing baby duck Jesus. so it was an incomplete set, and I didn't want to buy an incomplete set missing baby duck Jesus, so no, I don't. I have the cow, because like the cow's not really part of the nativity scene. So, but I have been wanting to go online and buy the whole nativity scene, but I don't even know if I've ever told Eric about my rubber duck collection.
Is it?
And he doesn't like stuff. He does not like a lot of stuff, especially stuff that takes up room. But
he likes you. He'll deal with it.
So we'll see. We'll see.
I think it's cool that you still have all of them.
Well, Kelly's gonna rope off a section for me so I can bring all my ducks when we go to Scotland.
Well, we'll be going to Virginia. Okay. And then stealing the boat she works on and sailing to Scotland.
Okay.
And pirating along the way.
Arg.
Yeah. Ahoy mateys and all that. Lash a scurvy dog to the yard arm.
I'm the closest one to being able to have a peg leg, though.
You are. You do have.
I walk with a cane.
Yeah, you do have hip and hip and back problems. I know.
Yep.
We all have a mission, people. Find rubber duck baby Jesus.
Yes, please do. I will pay you back for it.
I'll pay you back for it. But yeah, so last few minutes. Y'all get your last chance to get questions in. Thanks for bearing with us through the bad technical problems. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. I'm going to check all the connections and everything. Here right after we get off the stream, but yeah, last chance to get in some questions, and I will wrap up with how I usually wrap up. I would say always, except I forgot to do it with someone, but I almost am glad I forgot to do it with them because they knew it was coming, so they prepped, so I didn't ask them. But here's my question. We're going to make a movie about your life, okay?
Okay, oh God, oh no.
Who's going to play you? What actor or actress? I mean, I assume you could have a woman play you.
I mean, I could think of some men that could play me.
Yeah?
Jason Momoa can play me.
Yeah, okay. No, seriously though, what actress do you think would play you? I'm trying to just use the term actor from here on out, not to genderize the job.
It is a little bit harder for me to think because I don't know a lot of female actresses right off the top of my head.
Okay.
So this is a little bit more of a difficult question for me. So my brain's running through about 106 movies a minute. Trying to think of actors. Margot Robbie. Let's just go with Margot Robbie.
Hey, you could do a lot worse, man. So Margot Robbie is going to play you. You think she could bring your essence to life?
I think so. It'd be her or Stephanie Styles.
I don't know who that is.
She's a cartoon actress, but she has done characters that I very much relate to.
Okay.
So maybe she could. But I think Margot Robbie, I mean, she captured Harley Quinn very well. I'm not saying that I'm like Harley Quinn, but I am very open and energetic, just not that psychotic. But I do think I am more fun out and open, like especially like when I get like one-on-one with people. I can be a very talkative, friendly, outgoing person. Yeah.
So Margot Robbie, huh?
Margot Robbie.
Okay. Whose unique directorial vision would you like to bring
George
here?
Lucas.
George Lucas. You want George Lucas to direct your life story movie?
Yeah. He can make it look epic.
You're right about that. Just don't let him write the dialogue.
No. It'd be him or James Wan. Which they're polar opposite styles, but
right.
James Wan is he directed Fast and Furious 7. He's also directed Saw, all the Saw movies, so just to kind of give people a little bit of perspective on what he does.
I'm sorry. Matthew just made me I just saw this and it made me laugh. Like walking in, this is how he finds out about your duck collection. It just basically crushes him one day. That would be funny.
Yeah, it would be. I'll just kind of hide them somewhere and I'll open it one day.
And nobody notices a limp or a weird walk on a ship, which is probably true. And nobody would know better than Kelly. She's the only person that sails boats in the world, as far as I know. So, okay, so the last part of this question is, what would you want to name your movie?
You know what's really funny? I always pretend like my life is a soap opera, and I've come up with so many soap opera titles for different portions of my life. I've never thought about a movie title describing my whole life.
Okay. Well,
I take the quote from Toy Story. I'm going to call it "Falling with Style."
I love it. Falling with style. What exactly is the function of a rubber duck? So, unfortunately, you don't get that reference because we established earlier.
Okay, I was taking a very little sense. I was fixing to just.
You don't get that reference, but you know what? You can answer the question. Because John, we figured out earlier that she hasn't seen those films. She has not. This is from Harry Potter.
Okay. That's one reference I didn't get.
Right.
But like I do know a lot about
Right.
Harry Potter. I really do. I don't know everything, but I do know quite a bit from just what I've picked up.
Right, like cultural osmosis.
Right, like Dobby, giving Dobby a sock.
Right.
And I know that Snape kills Dumbledore, is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah. See,
but you also know that Snape is a hero, right?
I did not. But you know, like that's a really big spoiler for me to learn.
Oops, I just gave you another one.
Well, it's fine. Like, who knows when I'll be able to get to watch them. Because I don't think I could sit down and watch all 7 movies.
8.
8 movies? Yeah, no.
7 books. The last book they split into 2 movies.
There have been a couple of times where they have been on the television. However, I was inebriated, so I could not focus on them. So I may have viewed one, but
But you haven't like watched them.
No.
They're worth it. They're quite good.
I have seen I did see the clip where Ron stole his mom's car to break Harry out of his room. I did see that. It's kind of funny. I think that's the second film.
Second or third.
Yeah. And I know that that the movies take a pretty dark turn after the third film. The first 3 were very kid friendly, and then after that they started to get very dark and sinister in a sense.
Yeah, my general view of them is like the first 2 are good children's movies, or like they're more family
friendly.
Yeah, and the rest are they're generally good movies. Like I don't have that qualifier for kids on there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Arthur Weasley asked Harry Potter in film 2 because Arthur studies Muggles.
Okay.
And he asked
Muggles are humans who can't do magic.
Right, and so he was like, "What is the function of a rubber duck?" Yeah, and you're not wrong. The Weasleys are the family everyone wishes they had. Except that means you have to be a redhead because they're all redheads, and you know how we feel about redheads around here. Only very specific redheads allowed.
Hey,
only the most jaded redheads are allowed here.
Oh, that's a great question.
Yes.
And that is Tangled.
Okay.
Hands down, Tangled.
Solid choice.
That movie is a very close representation to my life. I don't want to talk negatively, but I relate to kind of the evil mother in a sense. I get the feeling of being trapped and the freedom of the world being overwhelming, but also so amazing. So, hands down, Tangled.
Cool. Good choice. Duck facts. There are rubber ducks in the ocean that scientists use to track ocean currents. So their function is to help scientists.
Yeah, but they have big weird monitors on the bottom of them.
Yeah,
so
but they are in fact rubber ducks.
Okay. And there are rubber duck pool thermometers.
Oh, Matthew, I'm sorry. I won't watch tonight because you have to get up early, and then you came on and you're still awake, and you have to go to work in 4 hours. Matthew, you're in France, right? I want to say France.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we got people from all over. I saw Belle Downs earlier. She's from Australia. Tish is from Scotland. Voice of Geekdom was on earlier. He's from England. Yeah, we're international, baby.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. Well, y'all, I think we've answered all the questions. We're about at the end. Anything you want to say to the people before we go? Anything? Matthew is in Germany. Okay, I can't. Sorry.
Well, I've had a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
I would love to do this again with you sometime, if with schedules.
It's got to be on a topic you could talk about, but yeah.
Well, and there are a few of those, and I'm
Sure.
sure if you give me enough notice, I have.
You have
I'm
time.
sure I could join with you on Clone Wars. I've got 4 hours to kill as long as I don't see it. I just need to hear it. Right?
No, you need to see it.
Just kidding.
Oh yeah, Potter lives in Galway in Ireland. Yeah, we're international, baby. But I will have you back soon for something that you can talk about, even if it's just like, hey, go watch this movie.
Yeah,
and then come and talk about it with us.
Well, and then I'll see what I can do for all the lovely folks. See if I can find my rubber duck collection and
post pics. One last question for you. What is your favorite movie with your favorite memory with your grandma?
It was one of the first few times I came over here and you pulled out a VHS tape. And it's still to this day like almost one of my favorite movies. And that movie is called Ferngully.
So one of your favorite memories is Grana introducing you to Ferngully.
Which is an amazing movie and so underrated. Robin Williams is in it too.
Yeah, oh yeah. He's the voice of the bat.
Batty. Don't disrespect him. His name's Batty.
Is he not a bat?
He is a bat. His name's Batty.
Okay.
You don't just let him name. Just kidding.
All right.
But yeah, this was fun. I really look forward. I've been in the Zoom call once.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can to kind of get in there more often. I've been kind of struggling with a lot of health issues, so I've been struggling with some things. So trying to interact with other people hasn't been my big thing right now. But I'm gonna try and be in there more, and I really look forward to getting to know you guys some more. And really, really enjoyed this.
Yeah, it was a great time. Usually there's like a topic to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And you were a more challenging interview just because I'm like, it's harder for me to think of questions to ask you because sometimes I already know the answer, so I don't think to ask it.
Right.
Even though they don't necessarily know, but there were still times that
I told you to prepare some questions.
But I never prepare questions. It's not the way we roll off the cuff, man. And hey, we made it 2 hours anyway.
I think we did. I could go for another one, but
I can't. I have to pee and have a cigarette.
Nice.
But for those of you that missed it, she did give me this. Let me angle it so that it's not stupid. But I am Lord Stephen Stark of Blair Adam now. Blair Adam in Scotland. I own 1 square meter of Scotland with a tree in it. And I am officially Lord Stark. So, yeah, thank you, sweetie. That was a very wonderful gift. Come back next week to Here Be Dragons. John and Nessie will both be back. We'll be talking about season 5 of the Clone Wars. Yeah. Y'all, thanks for coming out. To everyone who's here right now live. We had about 20 people. We're at 18 right now. We had about 20 people the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good turnout. So we love you all who were here live. If you're watching this later, we love you also, just not quite as much. But yeah, come back next week for some Star Wars talk. It's going to be awesome. I actually started watching the 5th season earlier today. I watched the first few episodes and it's good. It's good. I'm sure there's going to be a lull in the middle. But yeah. You have an Ent box. Yes. Hashtag Team Ent. That's what we're doing is we're going in Ent in Scotland.
Okay.
Yeah. See, 2 weeks after exams. Good luck, Matthew. study hard, and we'll all be pulling for you. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
You can do it.
Yep, we believe in you. But yeah, thanks to everyone for coming out. I had a blast. Eloura, thanks for doing this.
Yes, absolutely.
Everyone out there, thank you for treating my daughter with kindness. And we'll have you back to talk about something sometime.
Eventually.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna head back to my good old home,
Yep.
4 hours away.
Yep, you got to go back, go see your man.
Something like that.
Anyway.
Gotta go home and see my man child.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
Oh, I hope I still have a house to go to. He may have burned it down.
I think he could survive a couple of days without you.
You know, I told him 3 times to go get stuff for him for the weekend, and he never did. I had to go shopping from the day before.
Well, he's a good guy, but he ain't perfect, is he?
Oh no.
All right. Well, yeah.
I love him to death, though. Don't y'all think that.
Oh yeah, he's a good guy. He just ain't perfect, and he's young.
Yes, very.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks for coming, everyone. We're really leaving this time. Come back Thursday for Thursday on the new channel, Here Be Games. Link in the description. Go subscribe to that. I'll post stuff on Twitter and whatnot. Thursday night, Baldur's Gate 3 stream. The week after that, new game streams. Yeah, that's it. Star Wars next week, and we'll see you then. So until next time, peace. Peace. Where's my camera? Peace. And be excellent to each other.